Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to Quarantine Hair Yoga with Bex. So today's flow is going to be based around low back pain. So if you're prone to sitting down for long periods of time, or such as spending a lot of time working at a desk or whatever, and your hip flexors get a bit tight, that could be responsible for some low back pain issues that you might be experiencing. Please don't attempt this flow sequence if you have actual spinal problems like herniated or slipped discs. That could exacerbate the problem. This is more muscular tightness and discomfort in the low back area. So throughout the entire practice, you need to work within your own ability, placing your awareness into the areas of tension, which are likely the lower back region, if you've chosen this video, through the entire sequence, so that you're not further placing yourself into any greater pain or discomfort. Simply use my voice as a guide. If you can hear it, it's not too muffled with this afro going on. And yeah, we're just going to work through loosening up the hips, loosening up the low back, bringing a little bit of mobility back into the low back in a gentle way. So if you have any space around you, make sure you have a nice open space. A mat is pretty handy where you can get some grip under the hands and feet, and you might want a bolster or a block depending on your level of flexibility, I guess, and discomfort. That could be helpful in the sort of child's pose positions. So yeah, we're going to get straight to it. It's a quick little sequence. So we're going to start off in child's pose position. So again, you can use your block or bolster at this point if you want, under your hips, just to take away the angle from your legs on the ground, and just slowly settle yourself down into child's pose. And you might not need it, so just play around, see what's comfortable for you. Have your big toes to touch, and your knees can be either out wide or together, depending on the comfort of your hips. And just wiggle around nice and gently to release any impingement in your hip, which can happen. And extend your arms forward, head drops down to the ground. So from here, as always, we're going to place our awareness into our breath, because after all, that's what yoga is about, connecting your body and mind with the power of your breath. So just feeling the air passing into your lungs, down into the belly, noticing its characteristics. Noticing if you're breathing shallowly or deeply at this point. So we're just tuning into our breath, which allows us to tune into this present moment and the practice. So giving yourself that head to toe body scan at this point as well. So placing your awareness now directly onto the areas of tension and discomfort. So it's quite likely this lower back region. And now as you inhale, I just want you to expand your rib cage and allow the belly to balloon out. So you'll feel the belly sink between the thighs. And then as you exhale, the belly will lift back up towards the spine. Just feeling that air passing back out from your body. So one more time, inhale fully. Really feel that expansion of the rib cage, the belly ballooning out. And exhale completely, really get rid of all that air from your lungs. One more deep inhale here. Feeling that expansion, and exhale fully. From here, we're just going to nice and slowly creep the fingertips up to the left side of the mat, just to get that space up through the right side body. Inhaling here. Allowing the belly to sink out, and exhale. Really allow yourself to relax into the pose. So inhale once more. Really feeling that release of any tension through the bottom right part of your lower back. And exhale. Really slow exhale, getting rid of all that air. And nice and gently just creeping the fingertips over to the right side of the mat. Feeling that expansion through the left side body this time. Inhale. And exhale fully. Allow that exhale to really release yourself down into the pose. Inhale. Feeling that expansion of the rib cage down the left side body. And exhale, relax. We're just releasing any tension from the base of the lower spine now. So creeping our fingertips back to center, we're going to find ourselves up into tabletop position. So taking your knees directly beneath your hips, and you want to find your wrists beneath your shoulders, spreading your fingertips out nice and wide. Index fingers run parallel along each other, parallel to the long edges of your mat. I'm just going to take some simple cat-cows, so press into the ground away, lower the belly down, gaze forward if you can see past your hair, and exhale, tuck the belly button in, drop the head down. Inhale, wheel the chest open, gaze forward, dropping the belly down. Exhale, lifting the belly button up, drop the head down. So feeling like a nice wave, a ripple of water as you inhale and exhale, making it as fluid and gentle as possible. Inhale, gaze forward, drop the belly. Exhale, press the ground away. Once more as you inhale, gaze forward, drop the belly. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, head drops down. From here, coming back to center, pressing into the ground firmly now into the fingertips. So you're directing any pressure away from your wrists. You're using the entire surface area of your hand. So gripping into the mat or the ground with the whole hands, tucking the toes under, lift the belly button up towards the spine, engage that core, keep it nice and stable. I'm just going to lift the knees up gently off the ground, about an inch, feel the weight between your hands, and keeping your knees bent, we're going to step it back to downward facing dog with bent knees. You might want to step the feet back just a few inches so that your head, if you can see it, lines up nicely between your arms. I'm just going to start to slowly pedal out through the heels, so just releasing any tension through the backs of the legs into the hamstrings. So as you bend into your left leg, try and straighten out the right and gaze underneath the right armpit. Inhaling up, straightening out the left, bend into the right and gaze under your left armpit as you exhale. So inhaling as we transition and exhale to look under the armpit. So the exhales will help you to relax into the straight leg position, which will help you to release and relax into the back of your hamstrings. So again, pressing firmly into the mat with the knuckles and the fingertips of your hands, equal weight distribution. Just releasing any tightness from the lower back. And from here, coming back to center, keeping the knees bent, we're going to inhale, take that right leg up to the ceiling. And as we exhale, bend the knees, shift knee to the nose, nice and gently. I'm going to place that right knee behind the right wrist. We're going to try and slowly scoot that back leg back. Find ourselves amongst the wilderness of the hair. And from here, you might want to take a block or a bolster and just place it underneath that right hip, just to ease yourself gently into pigeon. So your body's nice and warm. You want to make sure your body's nice and warm to help you into these stretches. If you find it's comfortable on the full range, you can remove the block. Just ease yourself into it. Release the toes of the back left leg. So we're now stretching into the front right glutes and the back left hip flexor. So both opposing muscle groups are being stretched in different ways. So stretching out the hip flexor will help to get rid of any tightness, which could be causing a pulling and discomfort into your lower back. And we're stretching into that glute as well, which is just a delicious stretch anyway. So we're going to inhale here, draw strength up through the back and lengthen up through the spine, open out the chest. And as we exhale, we're going to come down to the ground, over the front leg. We're going to take the hands off the ground here as you slowly inhale back up to center. So squeezing into that right glute, we're also strengthening the back muscles. So it's important here to lengthen and strengthen the back so that we help to bring some stabilization back into the lower body. So inhale, lengthen up through the spine. Exhale, come down over the front leg. Hands off the ground and inhale, squeezing that back glute back up to center. Exhale, taking it down. Hands off the ground, inhale, taking it up. So this is active pigeon. 3 more times. Coming down and inhale, taking it up. Squeeze the shoulder blades onto the back. Exhale, coming down. Inhale, shoulder blades on the back, coming up. 1 more time. Exhale, taking it down. We're just going to settle down here, resting our head, forehead onto the forearms, and just fully release down into the pose. So now using the elongated exhales to fully release that front glute, which could be a bit tight right now, but we're also releasing down through the back body as well. So taking an inhale here, and slowly release your exhale. Place the hands back underneath, walk them back up to center, and tuck the back toes under. I'm going to step it nice and slowly back to downward facing dog. Knees still bent, really slow pedaling here. So we're going to inhale, take the left leg up to the sky. I'm going to exhale, bend at the knee, shift knee to nose, and place the back of the knee behind the left wrist this time. Again, nice and slowly easing yourself into pigeon pose, scooting that back leg back just ever so slightly. Releasing yourself down. Again, if you find yourself tilting over to the side, placing that hip underneath the block. The hip underneath the block underneath the hip, even. Again, finding yourself amongst the hair, settling down into the pose. So this time we're stretching out beautifully into that front right hip flexor and into that front left glute. So again, finding that length in the spine, squeezing into that back glute as you inhale. As we exhale and come over the left leg, hands off the ground. As we inhale, engage the back, nice and slow movement, engage the glutes. Exhale, taking it down. So 5 of these. Inhale, take it up. Hands down, exhale, bringing it down. So this fluid motion, inhale, really helps the fascia to release throughout the body as well. Exhale, taking it down. Inhale, taking it up. Exhale, taking it down. So from here, taking the forearms down to the ground, slowly release your forehead down to the forearms, and use the elongated exhales just to help you release and relax into the pose. So inhaling here, fill the lungs, and exhale. One more time, inhale. And exhale. So placing the hands back down to the ground, pressing it back up to center, tuck the back toes under, really nicely and slowly take yourself back to a bent knee, downward facing dog. We're going to take the knees back down to the ground, big toes to touch, child's pose once more, maybe taking the hands back behind, just to get a nice stretch out through the shoulders. Just taking away that pressure that was from downward facing dog. Wiggling out through the hips. Pressing ourselves up to seated nice and slowly. I'm just going to take our legs up to the side and bring them out in front of us. So from here, we're just going to take a couple of seated cat-cows. So holding onto both knees with your hands. We're going to inhale, reach the chin and chest up to the ceiling. Exhale, slowly round it out through the lower back. Inhale, taking it up. Exhale, rounding it out. One more time as you inhale, take it up. And exhale, round it out. So coming back up to seated, you're going to take the hands behind you, scoot yourself forward. Just slowly lower yourself down to the ground. Nice and gently. So from here, as we come into bridge pose, we normally place the palms face down to the ground, but I want you to turn your palms up to the ceiling, so just it brings that opening through the chest to allow you to really fully relax and deepen, become more aware of your breath here. So your breath is really going to help you to relax and release through these poses. So the shoulders are open, palms up to the ceiling, feet are flat onto the ground. And as we inhale, we're going to drive through the heels, squeeze through the glutes, lifting the hips off the ground and keep the knees parallel. We're going to take 10 simple bridge lifts here. Exhale, take it down. So that was 1. Inhale, take it up. So this is 2. Squeeze at the top. Exhale, down. 3. Working in your own breath. So this is strengthening the lower back. 4. Strengthening the glutes. And we're also bringing a stretch. This is 5. A stretch out through the hip flexors at the top. 6. Keep those lower ribs knitted down to the ground. This is 7. Knees parallel, they're going to want to splay out wide. This is 8. This is 9. And finally 10. Going to take the knees into the chest, nice and slowly. One last massage here through the lower back. Maybe taking Happy Baby if it's accessible to you, just to really massage out those lower back muscles, nice and fully, directing any blood to the areas just to help them heal, keeping them nice and warm. Rocking from side to side, beautiful. Now holding onto the knees, just placing them back down to the ground. Maybe take the feet, the soles of the feet together, just to allow the knees drop out wide, really slowly. Placing the hands onto the belly. Taking a couple of cleansing breaths here, so inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Draw your knees back together using your hands. Take the feet out to the edges of the mat. Allow the knees to drop inwards. And just relax here. Settle here. Just to feel out the body. Give yourself that head to toe assessment. Stay here for as long as you wish. But thank you so much for joining me on this class. I hope this helps with any low back pain that you might be having. And as always, leave any comments, positive or negative. I welcome all comments in the comments bar below. And I appreciate any feedback that you can give me. So thank you so much, and I look forward to instructing you through another class again. Thank you.